Good evening, everyone. Thank you for your patience. I want to welcome you all. The Hammond Redevelopment Commission meeting will come to order now. It's Tuesday, March 1st, 2022. It is now 4:37. The meeting will begin. Can you please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance and a moment of silence after? Commissioner Sol Presley, could you lead us?
Yeah. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Commissioner. Can we have a roll call then on tonight's commissioners?
Talmadge?
Yes, here.
Soto Presley?
Here.
Gray? Here. Myrick? Helpridge?
Here, for the record, we have 4 present with 1 absent. Okay, number 3, declaration of conflict of interest. Okay, number 4, communications.
Okay, we do have a communications. It came in February 18th. It's to Tom Novak. It says regarding 2 properties. It's vacant lots and 5334 Soul Avenue. Dear Mr. Novak, per your email request, I submitted the following. I have been working in Hammond for many years buying residential and commercial properties for the purpose of rebuilding and restoring, often from the ground up, including landscaping. This ultimately helps improve and uplift the neighborhood. My current property project is 5334 Soul, which I purchased last year. To date, some of the repairs that have been done are new brick, roof, etc. I've been approached by 4 companies interested in renting the space. The businesses are cable storage, printing, upholstery, and an electric company. If I decide to use this building for my own purpose, my thoughts is to have a flooring company. I am interested in purchasing the following lots: 608 Sibley, 609 Kane, 611 Kane, and 5341 Soul. The land can be used to pave for paved parking to help elevate a much-needed lack of parking and congestion in this area. 1 lot might be used in the future for the purpose of building a house. I understand that this proper zoning may be required. Sincerely, Rafael Garcia.
Okay, thank you, Karen. Just for the record that we received a communication and no action is needed. We'll refer that to staff. Okay, number 5, you'll see minutes on the agenda, but they weren't put in the packet, so I don't think we need to do anything. We'll just be on a future meeting then.
They should be at the next.
Those are the minutes dating January 18th, 2022, so just give staff the extra time to get those ready for next meeting, and thank you. Brings us to number 6, subordination request approval. Looks like we have 2 applicants.
Yes, we have 2 applicants, and before we get started with that, I do have Mr. Rafael Miranda on Zoom for a homebound that he couldn't attend the meeting for February, and it's for 6319 Rhode Island.
Hello, Rafael, can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah, thank you for taking the time. We did approve you at a meeting in the past, so you just tell us maybe how you heard about our program and.
I heard about it through our realtor, Eric.
Okay. And I take it you are a first-time home buyer?
Yes.
Okay. I don't have any further questions. Like I said, just thank you for taking the extra time and effort to introduce yourself.
No problem. Thank you.
All right, you may be excused if you like.
Thank you. I gotta get back to work.
All right.
Thank you.
Yeah, you need to pay for that mortgage.
All right. Have a good day.
All righty. All right, that still brings us to number 6 then, Andrea.
Okay, we do have Mr. George Peterson here, who is a City of Hammond employee. And Mr. Peterson is refinancing his home for a lower interest rate and a lower mortgage term. He will be receiving proceeds for rehabilitation purposes, and I have provided the documentation to show the different estimates that he will be having done, or the work having done.
Welcome, George.
Thank you for having me.
See, you're on crutches, eh?
Yeah, basketball with kids, not good. Well, at my age.
My only question was, the money that you're taking out, you're using that, it says in here 100% for rehabilitation, there won't be any cash out
No.
at all?
No cash out at all. I'll actually be putting more money in because the way my house is at the end lot and the way the alley was built up over the years, every time it rains or we have storms, the water sits in my garage area and it's like rotted the foundation of my garage. So a large portion of that, I have to lift the garage up above that and then rebuild on it. So that's a pretty big cost of it.
I completely understand. I've had lots of water issues myself, including right at this moment. I have no problem with this. I think it's a good idea to put more improvement into your homes and they stay nicer for Hammond. We don't live next to neighbors that don't have nice houses, so. Do we do these collectively or do we do them one at a time?
One at a time.
One at a time.
Okay. I make the motion for the subordination request approval from the HRC at the 3/1/2022 meeting for George Peterson at 818 170th Street.
I second that.
Okay, we have a motion by Commissioner Tomich, seconded by Commissioner Soto Presley. If there's no further questions, then roll call, please.
Tomich?
Yes.
Soto Presley?
Yes.
Gray? Yes. Myrick? Helpridge?
Yes, motion passes 4 yes, 1 absent. Thank you, Mr. Peterson.
Thank you, guys.
You may be excused
Thank
if you
you.
like, or if you want to sit in, you may do so.
Thank you.
And I,
Dre, you have another applicant?
yes, Mr. Daniel Barnett, he's supposed to be on Zoom, but I'm not seeing him there. But he is refinancing for a lower mortgage payment and switching from an FHA loan to a conventional, so to help eliminate his monthly mortgage insurance. It does show that his payment went up a little bit, but the interest is going down.
As we did with the other gentleman who we requested to be on our next Zoom meeting or here in person, I would make the motion, providing that he does come, that we approve Daniel Barnett at 7217 Ohio Avenue for the subordination request approval from the HRC.
I second that.
Okay, we have a motion by Commissioner Tomich, seconded by Commissioner Soto Presley. Is there any further questions? Okay, then roll call.
Tomich?
Yes.
Soto Presley?
Yes.
Gray? Yes. Myrick? Helpridge?
Yes, motion passes 4 yes, 1 absent.
Thank you.
Okay, number 7's approval of resolutions authorizing Levita Sparks Wade to execute documents of behalf of United Neighborhoods, Inc. for Parish View Home Investment Partnership Program funds and the Neighborhood Stabilization Program.
Members of the commission, if you look in your package, you will find 3 individual resolutions to give authority to Levita Sparks Wade, who is the executive director of United Neighborhoods, Inc., to execute closing documents, deeds, and any and all other documents relating to closings on the sale of the properties described as real estate and to otherwise deal with title or real estate respecting the sale of the same. So one is for, it basically deals with the 3 programs that she deals with. One is for Parish View because they manage the Parish View area even though the property is owned by Hammond Redevelopment Commission. The other is with Home for the Home Investment Partnership Program funds. And the third one is for the NSP program, the Neighborhood Stabilization Program. So these resolutions would just give her authority to act to act on behalf of the commissioner, to act to execute closing statements, deeds, and any other documents pertaining to the sale and closing of real estate.
Yes, I believe we've done this in the past.
We've done it in the
Dennis
past.
Radowski.
Mm-hmm.
I make a motion for approval of the resolution authorizing Levita Sparks Wade to execute documents on behalf of the United Neighborhoods, Inc. for Parish View Home Investment Partnership Program funds and the NSP program.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion by Commissioner Soto Presley, seconded by Commissioner Tomage. Can we have a roll call then, please?
Talmadge,
Yes.
Soto Presley,
Yes.
Gray. Yes. Myrick,
I'm sorry, I don't even know what you vote on. I'm just
Halpert,
saying.
Yes, motion passes with 4 yes. Mr. Myrick is present, but 1 abstained by him. Okay. Welcome, Commissioner Myrick. We'll be on line item number 8 then, is the approval of Haven House 2022 ESG-CV grant agreement.
Hello, Ryan.
Hi, how are you?
Members of the commission, if you look in your package, you will find an agreement for Haven House for the 2022 ESG CV, and we have Ryan here tonight to discuss the grant agreement and answer any questions that you may have as pertaining to this matter.
So Haven House is a domestic violence shelter here in Hammond, and they're proposing to use ESG CV funds to provide ongoing operations costs intended to keep the shelter safe and functioning. This funding source is specifically for homeless, at risk of homeless, and those experiencing domestic violence. And I can answer any questions that you may have.
They have an itemized list inside, don't they?
Yes, there's an
Explaining
itemized
what-
list of everything that they propose to use the funds for.
I don't have any questions. Anybody else? Okay. I make a motion for the approval of the Haven House 2022 ESG-CV grant agreement.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion by Commissioner Tomage, seconded by Commissioner Myrick. Let's have a roll call then, please.
Talmadge,
Yes.
Soto Presley,
Yes.
Gray. Yes. Myrick,
Yes.
Halpert.
Yes, motion passes, 5 yes.
Thanks for your time.
Thank you. Thank you, Ryan.
All right, number 9 is approval of bioforensics proposals for 8 Rimback plume monitoring.
Members of the commission, if you look in your package, you will find a proposal from EnviroForensics for 8 Rimback Street as it pertains to plume stability monitoring. And at this time, we have a representative from EnviroForensics on the Zoom. I think you're still muted. And she's available to answer any questions as it pertains to this proposal. Can you give us a brief overview of it prior to any questions being asked?
Sure. So this is a proposal to continue doing some work at the 8 Back Street property and give you guys regulatory exposure with the state, so that property can be redeveloped and used. We're looking to install some monitoring wells, do some confirmatory sampling, and those are all things that are required by the state so that we can get closure. A couple of years ago, we did a little bit of excavation, closed out the gas station, abandoned the tanks, put some amendment in the ground to help remedy it, so it should be good, but we need to get the samples to prove that to the state.
Okay. Does anyone have any questions at this time? And as you can see in the agenda, it has a not to exceed amount of 97.9. And it outlines the scope of work.
And that's to last about a year. It's for 4 quarters of sampling, so.
Do any of the other commissioners have any questions? No? Okay, I make the motion to approve, for the approval of Enviro Forensics proposal for 8 Rimbach plume monitoring.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion then by Commissioner Tomans, seconded by Commissioner Soto Presley. That's for the approval of Enviro Forensics proposal for 8 Rimbach plume monitoring. Roll call, please.
Talmadge,
Yes.
Soto Presley,
Yes.
Gray,
Yes.
Myrick,
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes, motion passes, 5 yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, number 10's acceptance of offers of purchase and purchase for redevelopment for a property commonly known as 818 through 842 Michigan Street.
Members of the commission, as you may remember, you previously granted authorization to advertise for purchase of the redevelopment property commonly known as 818 to 842 Michigan Street. Today was the deadline to accept proposals, and we did not receive any.
Okay.
No action required.
Right.
Yep. No action then is needed at the time. All right, number 11 then. Thank you, Ms. Tarver.
Thank you.
Approval of development agreement and lease for Plaza Square LLC.
So members of the commission, in your packet, you will find a development agreement and lease agreement for Plaza Square LLC. As many of you know, downtown Hammond is going through a substantial revitalization. We're very excited about some potential development that's taking place downtown. On the Zoom, we have Eric Gastovich from ATG, and we also have Kathy in the audience as well. We also have the city attorney, Kevin Smith. I was about to say Dave Westland. I'm sorry. I have Dave. I'm sorry.
Oh, no, he's the boss, not me.
So we have them on the, we have Kevin Smith in the audience as well to discuss the development agreement. It's a very exciting time. And as you can see in the corner, we have a rendering of the proposed development at Rimbach Plaza. So at this time, if Eric would like to speak first, and then Attorney Smith can speak after him regarding the development.
Yes, thank you, Africa.
You're welcome.
Yeah, my name is Eric Gastovich with ATG Real Estate Development. Our offices are located at 2901 Carlson Drive, Suite 330. We're very pleased to present our proposal for the redevelopment of the property on Hammond between Rimbach and Sibley, going all the way over to Morton Court, excluding the Margaret building, mid-block. Rents will start approximately $880. We anticipate they'll go up to approximately $1,400. That's all I have, unless anyone has questions for me.
Oh, it sounds like an exciting project and what you did out at Expo Landing, so it's, I'd like to see this in our downtown as well. That'd be great. Welcome, we have Attorney Kevin Smith. Would you like to share any comments or any overviews on this project?
Sure. Thank you, President Hopprich and Board and Commissioners. Good evening. I just wanted to, if I could, take some time to go over the development agreement, because it is obviously a pretty long document, at least from a reading perspective. It's over 100 pages with a lot of exhibits. And I do want to thank Eric and Kathy Nardi and his team at ATG, along with Phil Talon, the Chief of Staff, Africa Tarver, Ann Anderson, Dean Button, our city engineer, and Brian Poland, our city planner, who worked for months on this with the ATG group. And I appreciate their patience as we worked through it as a city. They were anxious to get this moving, and I understand that, because they want to take advantage of this year's construction season. And I believe if we meet all our goals and we meet all our timelines, that they're prepared to close on the property by October 1st. And my understanding, according to Eric, is that that will still allow them to put some shovels in the ground this construction season, which is really good news. Okay, so just briefly, if you'll indulge me just for a couple minutes while I go through the agreement, not line by line, of course, but just in general, so I can let the board know what we're requesting and what Eric is requesting approval of today. The development, as Eric mentioned, is going to be 6 buildings. It's on an area bounded by Hammond to the east, Sibley to the north, Morton Court to the west, and newly designed Rimbach to the south. You may recall that as part of the Jeff Speck plan, Rimbach is going to tee into Hammond now. You know how it kind of curves towards Fayette? That's going to now tee. So actually, I'm going to try to see if I can share my screen, and I'll show you exactly. We'll see if Tiffany allows me to do this over in IT. She said she would. And if she does, then we'll be good to go, because I wanted to just make sure that everybody was able to see this part of the city and understand which. There we go. Thank you, Tiffany. Let me just get this up. Okay, so hopefully we can see this. So this is the area, just to orient you. Hammond is on the right side of the screen there. You can see the fountain kind of on the bottom of the screen, and you can see the Rimbach is curved. That's going to come basically straight through where the fountain is now. And the advantage of that is it kind of makes, in the properties we're talking about, go all the way back to Morton Court, all the way over to Sibley, and all the way back up to Hammond. And so the one building that Eric mentioned is not part of this, is the Mar Rim building. And I don't know if you can also, I wish I had a pointer, but if I could just point real quick. It's, this building here is not part of that, okay? Just so you understand. And the setup is going to be, the back is going to be parking, and the buildings are going to go all along here.
Oh, okay.
There's 5 buildings there. The 6th building is actually going to be where the parking lot is next to the rotunda, which is the parking lot for the Indiana building. And we have an agreement with Eric to provide parking for the Indiana building until he needs that for construction. It's my understanding that's going to be the last building that's going to be built. So it's probably a 24 to a 30-month construction period. So it'll be about 2.5 years down the road. And we are working on alternative parking in very close proximity to the Indiana building for that building. So there shouldn't be any concern about that and its tenants, okay? So I can, does anybody have any questions about the map? Or I want to make sure everybody understands the parcels that are involved here. Okay, I'll just stop sharing then. Okay, as Eric mentioned, 166,000 square feet, including almost 9,000 square feet of commercial space. The plaza is going to be about 6,400 square feet, and that's on the southwest corner of Rimbach and Hammond. It's an approximately $24 million investment. The incentive and I think this is important because Eric and his group, ATG, were one of three, the board went out to, the commissioners went out to RFP 18 months ago, maybe? Something like that, 12 to 18 months ago. And we received 3 proposals. 2 of those requested significant TIF money. And as the board is aware, because you've gone through this with both Bank Calumet and with Madison Lofts, those were financed, the incentive had to do with TIF bonds were sold. ATG came to the table and requested no TIF money at all. They just asked for a 10-year tax abatement. And that is the incentive, along with a forgivable mortgage that will be partially released as the buildings are built and occupancy takes place. So I believe that Africa and her team, Africa and Ann, found that to be very attractive to the city because there's only so much TIF money we have for the allocation area downtown. And truth be told, we probably couldn't have financed this project with TIF. There weren't enough funds to, or increment that would be generated for all 3 projects. So when Eric and his team came forward with a suggestion of an abatement as the incentive, that was attractive to us. And if the commission approves the development agreement tonight, Mr. Westland, along with Ann and Africa and Juan, will be taking the abatement ordinance immediately to the city council for consideration, as that's part of the agreement that has to be, the city council has to pass on the abatement ordinance for this to move forward. I also mentioned a forgivable mortgage of $349,000 on the property, and that will again be released as the property is built. The plaza space will be owned by the developer but leased back to the city for $1 a year. The city will be the designer of the plaza and the constructor of the plaza unless we believe ATG can build it for less, and in that case we can ask them to build it. This is where the rotunda will be. The city, along with ATG, will be able to the city will still be able to have activities there as long as they are coordinated with ATG, things like farmers markets and craft shows and public activities. But it also allows the quote-unquote landlord, I guess, ATG, to have some control over what they consider to be their front door, because that's going to be the main entrance to their development. And we wanted to give them that ability as well. So I thought it was a really good compromise between what the city sees as an important public space and what ATG sees as an important part of their development. So I think it was a great compromise and a way for us to still have that be an important part of the redevelopment of downtown. I also mentioned that the commencement date should be no later than October 1st. Labor objectives are included, including compliance with the city's responsible bidding ordinance. The development agreement and purchase agreement are before the commission this evening, and we need both of those approved. I believe they've both been provided in your packet, or at least hopefully you have copies of those. They are signed by the developer. We received those yesterday. And I think that's it. I want to make sure I didn't miss anything, and I'm going to ask Ann to come up if she would like to add any additional comments from an economic development perspective. And of course, I'll answer any questions you might have, if you have any.
I only have one. About
Yes.
the dollar lease back, is that a specified time, or is it?
20 years with a 10-year option.
Okay.
So a 30-year lease.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hi, Commissioners. I just wanted to take a moment to let you know how excited we are, the Planning and Development Department and Mayor's Office, and all of us about this upcoming development. It is in line with our vision for our downtown and our recent master plan that we received from Jeff Speck. It's very exciting development. It's going to bring hundreds of new residents to our city and really activate our downtown. So we're thrilled that it's happening. We're very excited to work with ATG, and we'll keep you updated in the next year or so on its construction. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you also, Attorney Smith. Yes, Commissioner Gray.
I have a question, and I think maybe Kevin's best to answer this, but Ann might be able to help out too. You mentioned the 2021 Series A bonds that were related
I'd probably have to go back to beyond my memory banks, but my recollection is that we were in the infancy of discussing the ATG project and kind of trying to figure out, whether we were going to select ATG or a different developer when we were talking about the bonds for Madison Loft, which is the A bonds, and Bank Calumet, which is the B bonds.
I guess my question, so it's really just relating to the coverage, Kevin. So are we, by approving this tax abatement, are we at all concerned that we're going to reduce the coverage for those bonds so that the city would be required to make shortfall payments?
No, I see what you're saying, Heather. Now I understand the concern. In other words, because there wouldn't be any increment generated because of the abatement, does that impact the debt service? And I think Dave knows the answer to that, but I'm pretty sure the answer is no.
Kevin's right. The answer is no. When we, Heather, not that I have a better memory than Kevin, but when we were looking at all three projects and we were discussing them with our financial advisor, Mr. Sender, along with Landon, who was involved at the time, that was always considered with the Madison project and the Bank Calumet project, which I think, Kevin, you may have misspoke a little bit earlier. When the Bank Calumet project, which is next on your agenda, is not quite ready yet. So we haven't done anything with those bonds. But when we ran the numbers and considered everything, it was always in the forefront that the Plaza Square development was going to be a tax abatement. So those bonds are standalone with a backup from the project.
I think Central is the backup.
And Central is the backup. So the answer to your question is no, this will not impact those at all in terms of the coverage ratios or anything.
Or the way the bond documents are written.
Right, I know that with that bond, the city is responsible for shortfall, so I didn't want to put us in a position where we're creating one for ourselves.
That's a good question, Heather. Thank you. Yep.
Thank you.
Mr. President, if there's no further discussion or questions, I'd like to make a motion for the approval of development agreement and lease for Plaza Square LLC.
I'll second that.
Mr. Westland, just to be clear, and that might have been a mistake by me putting it on the agenda, but the lease is going to be dealt with later. Right now, we need the development agreement and the purchase agreement signed.
Okay.
Okay, so you need me to rephrase
Yeah,
that?
just retract that and
Okay, let me just restate it. Mr. President, I'd like to make a motion for the approval, development agreement, and purchase agreement for Plaza Square LLC.
I second that.
Okay, we have a motion then by Commissioner Myrick, seconded by Commissioner Soto Presley. Is there any final questions or comments? Okay, then roll call, please.
Talmadge?
Yes.
Soto Presley?
Yes.
Gray?
Yes.
Myrick?
Yes.
Helpridge?
Yes, motion passes. 5 yes.
Thank you, we look forward to starting.
Thank you.
Okay, number 12, but I'm not sure if we're going to have anything. It's approval of development agreement for Bank Calumet building.
So I sort of previewed that with my last comments. The development agreement is kind of going through its final revisions. We thought it was done, and there was a couple of issues relative to the financing documents and how they related to the development agreement. So we anticipate, I think I can report that the Bank Calumet building's been purchased. So the developer, their first obligation under the development agreement was to acquire the land, and they did that on the 28th, yesterday. So they're proceeding forward in good faith, knowing that this is coming to you on March 15th. That's sort of what we agreed to kind of move it to kind of get those last few changes to the development agreement. We want to get it to you in a form that is done, as opposed to saying, you know, it needs further review or anything. So this will be here on the 15th any means necessary. That development agreement is going to be here by the 15th.
So we need to table this until the 15th? Is that what you're saying, or?
Yes.
Mr. President, I make a motion to table the approval of the development agreement for Bank Calumet until March 15th.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion by Commissioner Myrick, seconded by Commissioner Tomage. That's to table the development agreement for Bank Calumet Building. Let's have a roll call, please.
Tomei,
Yes.
Soto Presley,
Yes.
Gray,
Yes.
Myrick,
Yes.
Alpert.
Yes, motion passes, 5 yes to table. Okay, brings us to 13, reports. Ms. Africa Tarver, would you like to share anything tonight?
Nothing at this time.
Okay. All right, number 14 then is our bills, the register of claims.
Mr. President, I'd like to make a motion to pay the register of claims. Karen, is this the one that I'm supposed to make? Karen? Is this? Oh, okay, because I read the one online. Okay. I'd like to make a motion to pay the register of claims for January 18th, 2022 through February 24, 2022. For register of claims R61009 through R61211 inclusive.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion for the register of claims. Commissioner Soto Presley, seconded by Commissioner Myricks. Is there any questions on these claims for staff? Okay, then roll call.
Tomei,
Yes.
Soto Presley,
Yes.
Gray,
Yes.
Myrick,
Yes.
Alpert.
Yes, motion passes, 5 yes. Okay, number 15, new and unfinished business. I think we have an item tonight.
We actually have 2 items tonight before you, members of the commission. The first one would be the acceptance of bids for the demolition, asbestos remediation, and site cleanup for 628 to 700 Hoffman.
Okay, we have Mr. John Blosky from Americo here tonight.
Okay.
Oh,
So Mr. Blasky's going to help me tabulate as I read these off. The first one is from Austin Equipment, Inc., and they have bid the demolition and site cleanup. They're located in Crown Point. All right, so they did not bid the asbestos remediation. They bid the demolition and site cleanup, and the bid was $483,317. And then there's some alternatives for alternative work that was part of the specifications 1 through 6, and I'll just kind of go through those. Alternative 1 was $86,160. Alternative 2 was $378,231. Alternative 3 was $195,655. Alternative 4, $189,937. Alternative 5, $54,640. And alternative 6 was $32,112. They also bid the unit price for the load and haul dispose of the waste associated with alternative number 2, which was $100 per ton. All right. The second bid is Alliance Demolition and Excavation Services, and they're in Chicago. They bid, the combined bid all the work.
Scissors underneath.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what happened to my scissors? You know, it says at the top, do not open, but I assume they want me to open it, so.
I think that's anybody
They're not gonna
before
make
you.
it- They're not gonna make it easy, that's for sure. All right, so the first bid is the asbestos remediation, no bid. Bid number 2, demolition and site cleanup, no bid. Bid 3 is the combined work. $201,335. Alternative 1, $38,500. Alternative 2, $105,870. Alternative 3, no bid. Alternative 4, $110,000. Alternative 5, $32,495. And alternative 6, $53,290. And then for the unit price for the hauling of the waste, $37 per ton.
That's for Alliance, right?
Yes, Lions Demolition.
I get tape over the pull tab, it makes it harder to get into. All right. The next one is from Dorr and Associates. Dorr, D-O-R-E. They're in Bay City, Michigan.
Well, where's your big tab? Should have it somewhere there. Find it real quick.
There it is.
Any
All right.
glasses?
Yeah, not anymore. So bid number 1, which is the asbestos remediation, is $32,050. Bid number 2, which is the demolition and site cleanup, $467,600. And then the combined bid for bid 3 is $490,200. On the alternate work, alternate 1, $35,300. Alternate 2, $189,600. Alternate 3, $28,200. Alternate 4, $35,900. Alternate 5, $12,500. Alternate 6, $55,500. And then for the unit price, $85 per ton.
Let's see it.
Yeah, right?
Let's see it.
Yeah, these guys gotta understand, in order to read the bid, I gotta be able to get to it. All right, the fourth one is from Brandenburg Industries in Chicago. All right. That's interesting.
Oh, it's kind of like the same, just a no bid there, but that's
Okay.
that, I guess.
All right, so bid number 1 is not bid separately. bid number 2 is bid separate, so it's a no bid on bid 1, but bid number 2, the demolition, $358,519, and then the combined work in bid 3 is $381,586. The alternate work, alternate 1, $28,167, alternate 2, $109,242, alternate 3, $21,577, alternate 4, $29,085, alternate 5, $60,349, alternate 6 is $94,800, and the unit price is $68 per ton. Those are your bids.
Could you repeat the first one, Austin?
Austin? Yeah, let me get to it. Bid number 1 was a no bid. Bid 2, $483,317 for the demolition and site cleanup. You write big enough. Alternate 1, $86,160. Alternate 2, $378,231. Alternate 3, $195,655. Alternate 4, $189,937. Alternate 5, $54,640. Alternate 6, $32,112, and then $100 per ton on the unit price.
Thank you.
A total of 4 bids we received.
That's right.
All right, so we just need to refer these to staff then, right?
Yeah.
Mr. President, I make a motion to refer these to staff.
I second that.
Okay, we have a motion in by Commissioner Myrick, seconded by Commissioner Soto Presley. 4 bids that we received today were read, and we will refer these to staff. Can we have a roll call then, please?
Talmadge,
Yes.
Soto Presley,
Yes.
Gray,
Yes.
Myrick,
Yes.
Halpert.
Yes, motion passes. 5 yes.
Thank you, Commissioners. I'll get these tabulated and contact Africa after a review.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, you said you have one more item then?
I do have one more item. You want me to cover it? Or you want me to?
Sure.
Okay.
Because that's why I had you write it down this afternoon.
Okay. So the second item that we have for new and unfinished business tonight is the authorization to advertise to sell some HRC property located from Lion Street to Eden Street and Highland to the north side of Good Time Charlie's. So that's property that's HRC owned, that's vacant property to the north and the south of City Hall. So at this time, what we're asking for is authorization to advertise for the sale of that property. We're awaiting appraisals that have been ordered.
I'm sorry, could you repeat everything you just said?
Okay. We're requesting authorization to advertise to sell HRC-owned property from Lion Street to Eden Street and from Highland Street to the north side of Good Time Charlie. So that's Morris. But there's a building, so it'll be on the north side of that building. The property is owned by HRC, it's currently vacant, and we have ordered appraisals, and we're awaiting those appraisals. But at this time, we're asking for authorization to advertise upon receipt of those appraisals.
Thank you, Ms. Tarver.
You are welcome, Commissioner Myrick.
And we anticipate a commercial RFP similar to ones you've done in the past, you know, at the average of the 2 appraisals, and we'll hopefully get a lot of interest from developers and be able to bring that to you for a decision.
Yeah, being right here, right off Calumet, it's kind of prime-time real estate.
Especially with the new high school across the street. We have a lot of development taking place.
Can you just say so move? So move.
Second.
Okay, we have a Motion then by Commissioner Toman, seconded by Commissioner Myricks. May I have roll call in, please?
Talmadge,
Yes.
Soto Presley,
Yes.
Gray,
Yes.
Myrick,
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes, motion passes, 5 yes. Okay, that concludes new and unfinished business. Number 16 is public comment. Public comment is open. Public comment is open. Public comment is open. All right, public comment is now closed then. Public comment is closed. Public comment is closed. Number 17.
Mr. President, I make a motion to adjourn.
I second that.
We have a motion and a second. Can you all signify by aye?
Aye.
Ayes have it. Meeting is adjourned. Thank you, everyone.
That's all.